What's up, guys? It's me, Merch. How you doing? Last time we spoke, I was talking about how beautiful this weather is, and we were in Arkansas, and that is where this video is taking place. I am currently inside of a sleeping bag in New Mexico. But that's besides the point. We'll get to that later. If you hear any noise in the background, that is just the freeway, and there's nothing I can do about that. But what you're looking at here, this is Ouachita. I believe that's how you say it. Ouachita National Forest in Arkansas. It's beautiful. It was an awesome sunny day. I didn't have my phone with me because I was using it to upload some stuff, to edit some stuff, and to update some things. So I was rolling no GPS this day. It was kind of a fun day, and I was really kind of taken aback by these woods here that are outside of my campground that I was staying at. They do controlled burns, and at first I thought there was a wildfire, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. And they're like, no, we do it on purpose, so that way we can make sure that they don't happen as often, which makes sense. But it's kind of a strange concept coming from East Coast, where I live, Acadia National Park area. If this happened, it would be devastating. Everyone would be very, very upset. And I started seeing more and more as I was rolling around. It's very commonplace out west for people to do this, to just totally torch their own national forests. So I guess to each their own for safety's sake. But it's interesting because you'll be going along and you'll smell it. You'll smell the that charcoal smell, no matter where you are. It'll be wafting through the woods as you're riding, and it's kind of nice, actually. I don't mind it. But this forest is absolutely huge. You can look at it on a map and you can get sort of an idea of how big it is, but once you start rolling through, and it's just non-stop woods for as far as the eye can see for hours and hours of riding, it starts to sink in how big it really is. And this is the campground that I was staying at. This is the Joplin campground. I rolled in here late at night. Actually, it was dark, and I remember this road being really, really awesome. So I wanted to check it out in the daylight, and it's an awesome, nice windy road. You can see there that sign said windy, 25 miles an hour, and for good reason. I was coming in kind of not fast, but I was trying to get to my campsite. It was like 9 p.m. and it was dark. I didn't realize it was even a national forest. I didn't realize it was a national park. The people at the gas station just told me there was a campground up there to set up and pay in the morning. So it's definitely not the case. Do not do that. That is not what you're supposed to do. I was greeted by a park ranger at 10 p.m. and I had to make a reservation on my phone, and it wasn't cheap. I think it was $55 for 2 nights. I mean, I guess that's not bad. The KOA that I'm at right now in New Mexico was $55 for 1 night, and it's an absolutely terrible campsite. I'm sleeping on gravel, pebbles, and nowhere near as beautiful as this. So if you are in Arkansas and you're in this area, and watch out for cars because they do pull out right in front of you. Apparently they don't see you sometimes. So, but if you are in this area, definitely stay here. Joplin campground, that's the name of it. It's awesome. It's beautiful. I'm sure during peak season there's a ton of people here because it is a I guess you can call it like a redneck yacht club for real. No joking aside there. That's what this is. It's a yacht club on a lake, and so yeah, there's a very strong yachting community here, not the seafaring kind. So if you're into yachting, land yachting, this would be a good little setup point for you because you could you could do some fishing, you can do some camping. They have cooking spots. I'll show you actually this road coming down in here. This road is awesome. There's a lot of people mountain biking it, so I try and go real slow, but it is a real windy one. And I remember being specifically taken back by this road because I was like, this is absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to see this in the morning. I cannot wait to see this in the daylight because I was doing it at dark. And I just kept expecting to go off into the lake. But yeah, it opens right up. We're basically kind of out on a little peninsula. And there's a bridge. And like I said, if you guys are into fishing, the fishing here is good. Very, very good. I didn't have a pole with me. The only fishing kit that I have is like one of those survival fishing kits that I bring. And that's mainly just for the fishing line to use to tie stuff in case I need to. It does come in handy pretty often. But yeah, the fishing here is really good. I was seeing tons of people catching lots of fish. And if you do come, make sure to get those yellow cards they have at the office, because the offices in the national parks this year are all closed. And you have to make an appointment on Recreation.gov, which I did. It's a mobile app. It's really easy. And you have to fill out your card and put it on there, or else you will be greeted by a park ranger in the middle of the night. Take my word for it. They will wake you up. And if you have kids, or if you have a dog or anything like that, you're not going to be very happy about it, and neither will anybody else around you. So you're not going to make very many friends like that. So just a little word to the wise. During the COVID times, they do not take kindly to you not doing this. And I found that out. But hey, you live and you learn. But this is me right here. It's my spot. It seemed like the best spot to roll up to. Didn't realize how good of a spot it really was until I woke up the next day, because it was just A1. Prime time location, 360 panoramic view all around. Oh yeah, here's my crazy bike. As of right now, it's getting a little funky as the days go on. Things are happening. Things are breaking. I'm having problems with some things, but I'll talk about those later. They have water on tap, drinkable water, potable water, I guess you can call it. And it is pressurized, so you just open it and it flows. They got picnic tables. They've got power outlets. I personally had like 6 regular power outlets. They got 20 amp and 30 amp. Those are metal picnic tables. They've got huge fire ring. I didn't have one because I was so tired. I just wanted to go to bed. They have cooking spots too, if you're into that. Really cool. And they have 3 huge tent spots. So the spot that I stayed at, spot 11 on the Joplin Road, that's what this is. This was meant for like a big group of people. And whatever, it's all good. They got hangars too for your food. But you can get smaller ones. This is probably where I should have stayed. It's still only a few dollars less, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But yeah, campsites, they are good there. So anyways, all campsites aside, I went out for a day ride, and I left my phone there because I was uploading a video. And I upload videos on my phone. It takes forever. There wasn't any Wi-Fi out there, so it was probably like a 3 or 4 hour upload for a 15-minute video. That's pretty standard. But I had this crazy idea. I wanted to find a mountain and drive up it. Sometimes I have these ideas. I never said I was the brightest, but I wanted to find a place that was off the beaten path, that was beautiful, and I ended up getting kind of way out in Arkansas. No GPS, like I said, just remembering my turns, which is something that you should definitely get good at if you're gonna get into riding a motorcycle. None of this car stuff where you just kind of listen to the radio and you don't pay attention. You gotta count your turns, remember where you turned and how to get back. That's a very important skill. But I found this little road here. I was like, ooh, that looks nice. And I think it had an official sign on it. So turned around, this little turn off. There's lots of little things like this everywhere too. Got to be careful not to go into someone's property because they might shoot you. That's true. Down south, bang bang, gotcha. As long as they told you that they were gonna, it's totally fine. So keep that in mind if you're not from the U.S. Especially Texas. Texas will definitely shoot you. But yeah, down this way, it was open. It was a wildlife conservation, so it was a public road, and I went down it, and it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. It was a dirt road. It was pretty smooth at the beginning. Hence, when I say the beginning, because by the end it was pretty rough. But this is a view that I've been trying to do more often, which is standing up on the bike. I really enjoy this view. It's kind of a cool view. It's easy for me to do, and I actually really enjoy standing up on the bike while I'm riding down bumpy roads and stuff like that. I feel like I have a lot better control over where the front end is going, while at the same time giving you guys a cool view. You see? It's pretty fun. And this is sped up a little bit just because it went on and on and on, but I wanted to show you guys how far down I went. I went really far. I probably went further than I should have, but it was called something falls. So I knew it had to do with water, so I wanted to try and find that water. And I did. Spoiler alert, I found some, but it was not exactly what I was expecting. It was nice, but I was thinking like huge waterfalls. But I had to go way down here, and the further I'm going, the rougher the roads are getting, the deeper into the wilderness we're getting. I have nothing but bare goodies in my chest. I've got like peanut butter crackers, I've got cookies, peanut butter, like all these things that a bear would want. I was thinking about that. I'm like, all right, I gotta kind of keep my eyes peeled and be ready to skedaddle out of here if I hear something or see something, because I am in the middle of nowhere with bear food, and I don't really have any way to protect myself besides leaving. So I was keeping that in mind, safety. But I started to get on this incline. We started to go up. We're going up a mountain now. Up, and it's getting rough. It's getting real rough. The GoPro, it died right here. And this is my 1080p one. It's not so bad. It was my rear cam. I have a rear cam just in case something's chasing after me. I can get it on camera. I thought that was kind of a cool idea. So I swapped cams, and we're up on a mountain, guys. We're pretty high up. There's no sign of water yet, except for that little creek. So we come up over the crest. I'm coming down the mountain now, and I'm like, oh God, what am I getting myself into? Because at this point, if I was to try and turn around, it would be somewhat difficult. The road is narrowing. It's also sloped on the sides, so you can't really turn around very easily. It's also a cliff on the edge that goes down into the woods. I would have a hard time turning around in this because it is loose boulders and gravel. So at this point, I'm pretty much committed. I'm going down, and hopefully I can find a turnoff and come back up eventually. Or maybe there'll be something down there that is worth going down for. That's what I was really hoping. And of course there is, but I didn't know that yet. And I was starting to get a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Right here, I'm like, all right, gravel switchbacks. I'm over a mountain. I'm way out here. Nobody knows I'm here. Don't have a phone. This could be interesting. I didn't see any cars coming in or out the entire time. And things were, in a regular situation, not ideal. But then I saw this creek up ahead, and I realized everything's fine. But it is sometimes not a bad thing to worry about those things. And my heart lifted, and I was like, oh, thank you. Perfect. There's a little turn off. I kicked the bike down and took a little sigh of relief, And also, not to mention, guys, it was like, I think it was like 80 something degrees out this day. Really hot. And this stream looked fantastic. I went over to it, took a look at it. It was all fresh water, clear as can be, ice cold. Nice little stream. And I was thinking this is probably the beginning of the falls. Oh man, it was really nice. I was thinking, man, I would like to jump in this water, honestly, right now. It wasn't deep enough. But then I saw something across the stream. It was a cool, what looked like a little campsite, and I hadn't had lunch yet. So all bears aside, I sat right next to this old fire pit right here. Looked like it had been used at some point, but not recently. And I was looking around to see if there's any bears that were going to join me, and I didn't see or hear any. So I sat down, had myself some lunch right here. It was a good little break after that sort of adventure. So I got back on the road, I guess you could say, gravel road. I felt better. I had a full stomach, and I knew that there was water. I knew that it was coming down here. I had my water bladder too, but it's always good to know, like, okay, if something did happen, I do have water. There was a forge here. You had to go across. It wasn't much, but if that river was really running, I'm sure it would be a lot deeper. And then that was the first car that I saw, finally. So I was like, oh, I guess it's not too far out here. There were some people down there. They were in some water, and I was a little jealous because I was getting hot. But I wasn't about to go down there with them because, I don't want to be that guy shows up to your spot and jumps in your water while you're swimming. Like, that's kind of a rude thing to do, I think. But yeah, I did a little off-roading right here, sort of, driving over some roots. It was kind of fun. This bike really does do a pretty good job, but I try not to push it more than it can handle. So I turned around, I went back, and I thought that I saw a spot on the road on the way in. I thought there was a couple spots that maybe I had missed or something. So, and I turned around and I was right. There was one. It was a beautiful one that I had missed. And actually there's a few more down there. And this waterfall, it's very small, but you could tell that they hadn't had a lot of rain recently, because all of these rocks and everything, they definitely are normally getting hit with a lot more water, I think, at higher levels. So maybe I hit it at a dry spot, but it was pretty nice, guys. It was nice and cool. I 100% just went straight in, no hesitation, didn't even care. The cool thing about having your panner bags and all your stuff with you is I always have a change of clothes. So getting in with the boxers is no big deal. Another reason also to always have synthetic clothing, because they dry on the way home. But yes, this was awesome. I had such a great time. I filmed a little bit of it, but most of the time I was just sort of relaxing in that pool. And it was just an awesome end to sort of an uncertain ride. I totally lost track of time. I think it was like almost 5 p.m. by the time that I got back. I was gone all day. Not like it mattered. I didn't have to talk to anybody, and I wasn't reporting to anybody, but I felt free. Look at this. No shirt, no underwear, no problems, man. All is good. All is well. But then...
This is me talking to you guys. You can't really hear because I have the motorcycle running in the background like a dummy. But basically, the guy who lived there, his name was Roy. He was really cool, and he was in the Navy, and he brought me out some food in the morning. He brought me out some coffee, and we talked for like an hour and a half. So it was really cool. It was really nice, and a really cool guy. He's moving to Mexico, and he's subbed up, and I just want to say hi and thank you. And so I got back on the road, still wet, still rainy, still overcast. At this point, it had been about 24 hours since, or a little bit longer since I've been wet and been in the rain. I have a lot of base layers on, so I can't really feel it, but the entire ride, guys, I didn't film any of it. It was 8 hours and 16 minutes from Sparks America Campground, where I left, to Albuquerque. That's where I woke up this morning. And that was 589 miles in the rain, in 40-degree weather, with 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts, with a continuous of 40. It was bad. All across Texas, all across the rest of Oklahoma, and most of New Mexico. It was a really bad ride, and I didn't stop anywhere around there because it was just so crap. But good news is I made it out. I'm in New Mexico now. I'm actually somewhere out in this forest here. I found a cool little road. I don't really know what it's called, but I'm going to leave it at that. And the next time that I see you guys, we'll take a look at this ride because it's beautiful. It's warm. I even think I got a little sunburn today. So things are good. I'm dry and I am warm. And I'll talk to you guys all very soon.